Arsenal Fan TV in here with Mo, captain of Team AFTV. And we didn't do too bad. Got to the final, fell over at the end, got beaten by the Telegraph in the end.
I'm sick, absolutely sick of getting to finals and not doing.
You did that in the righty competition
exactly,
as well.
Yeah, just really annoying. And also when we went to the Emirates and played there, did it there again. And also look, in a Wenger era, he's lost every single final there is to lose. I'm sick of losing finals. Absolutely sick of losing finals.
What finals has he lost?
He's
won
lost
the FA Cup final.
No. In his tenure as an Arsenal manager, he's lost an FA Cup final. He's lost a Carling Cup final. He's lost a Europa
He's
Cup
won the
final.
recent ones.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, I've seen Arsenal and myself lose too many finals.
Don't compare yourself to Arsenal,
but then again, I'm being like Claude now, so I'm just going to focus on the positives. Look, it was a cracking day, and more
getting to play football with Paul Merson and Perry Groves.
And it's not just Paul Merson and Perry Groves. These are 2 of 13 men that played that night in '89 at Anfield. And you know what I enjoyed more than just the football was actually talking to Perry Groves about that night. It's just amazing when you like just hear them talking about it and what went on behind the scenes and their mentality and just how cool they were on a night like that. It's absolutely amazing. I was only 5 when that happened, but obviously you watch it back and you read about it and you've watched like documentaries about it, and it's absolutely amazing. But to talk to one of the 13 men involved is just like, I've always wanted to do that, and it's absolutely brilliant to hear about that. It's just, I wish I could have been there.
Now, listen, we're talking bringing it back to the modern day at the moment. Still getting linked with Benzema at the moment. What do you think's happening with all these? What do we need transfer-wise as far as you're concerned?
We do need a world-class striker, you know. So that'd be my number one priority. But for me, and I might go against the grain here because, you know, Arsenal fans are already starting to develop a little bit of loyalty towards Benzema because of all the rumours. So you might not like what I'm going to say, but for me, Benzema is in Wayne Rooney territory, where he's definitely capable of world-class moments. He's definitely capable of world-class performances, but I don't put him in that truly world-class bracket. Just like Wayne Rooney. He's a very, very good player, clearly very talented, but he's not world-class week in, week out, how a Luis Suarez is, how you know, let's not even count Messi and Ronaldo because they're another level, but how a Luis Suarez is, how an Aguero is. I don't put him in that bracket. Rumour has it that Real Madrid want to get Lewandowski and then they'll sell Benzema to Arsenal. And if that is the case, I know it's very hard to compete with a club like Real Madrid, but I'd rather see Arsenal go for Lewandowski. You know, I think
the rumour is that Arsenal went for Lewandowski and Müller earlier on in the season. The rumour is that they bid for both of them and they were completely turned down by Bayern, who said, absolutely no way are we selling any of them. So it looks like a club are showing a lot of ambition at the moment.
Yeah, look,
you know, they've got the money there. They are trying to make things happen, but they're just not being able to shift any of these top players.
Yeah, and I would say that, look, if that is the case, and we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, so from my point of view, I think Arsenal have done enough in the transfer windows in recent years, since we've got that financial firepower, for them to accrue a bit of trust with fans, and they've certainly done that with me. So
not every fan.
Yeah, not every fan. But look,
a lot of the ones that there was a couple of comments on my Transfer Daily today where there's fans that are not happy, saying that we should have got some of these deals over the line already.
Yeah,
but it's
I agree.
not as easy as that, is it?
We should have. We definitely should have. But as you say, it's not as easy as that. But when Arsenal have signed Ozil, we've signed Sanchez, and we've signed Cech, I think to myself, do you know what? Arsenal actually are looking to make moves in the transfer market of real magnitude. So before we had made them sort of moves, I was one of the fans that was livid because we weren't doing what I felt we were capable of doing. Because I thought Arsenal should have started making the moves a year before the club actually did. And I've spoken to Ivan Gazidis in front of you about this, and he said, yeah, it's a matter of opinion as to when we made the moves. Arsenal decided to make it in the summer when we signed Ozil. I think we should have done it before. But since then, we have made them moves, so I do trust the club that they are trying to do this stuff behind the scenes. I'd love it if we'd already done it. But look, if we've gone for Lewandowski, if we've gone for Müller, and we haven't been able to execute any of them deals, and we go and get someone like Benzema, for me, that's good enough. Benzema's a clear improvement in what we've got. He might not be, you know, my first choice, but he's still a massive improvement, and he's still going to make a big, big difference to our team, and especially our squad, because Giroud will be one of the best number 2 strikers in the league. He really will. I'd put him above, you know, any of the, I'd say, you know, put him above any of the other clubs, really.
What if we don't get none of those? What do you think, if it's just down to what we've got, would that be strong enough?
If we don't get any of them, you know,
possibility.
Yeah, definitely. I will be very, very disappointed because I don't think we can really win. I don't think we will win the league without one of them, without a decent strike coming in. You know, for me personally, the way I see it, I would just have a very, very clear pecking order. That would be Lewandowski, then Benzema, and Lacazette would be somewhere on there. Lacazette's the sort of player from a club like Lyon where I would expect us to be able to go in and say, no, we are taking him, and we go and do the business and be aggressive in the boardroom and get him.
He's signing a new deal, so he's going nowhere.
I know, so that's as a result of moving late. But I'm sure there'll be a buyout clause. I'm sure there'll still be a price that we can pay to get him from that team. I don't want this season to be a write-off. We've got Ozil at the age of 25, 26. We've got Sanchez, who I think is 26. These are players who are doing amazing things week in, week out in the peak years of their career, and I don't want these years to be wasted. Arsenal have now got the money, and the way I always look at it, I hate to say it, but on a net basis, if we
net spent, exactly. Net spent.
If we buy Lacazette, for example, for 35 million, and he doesn't work out, we sell him for 25 million, the true spend is actually only 10 million. So I think it's worth taking that 10 million risk and not letting this season go to waste. Arsene Wenger hasn't got that many years left as a manager. Ozil and Sanchez aren't going to be, I'd say players between the ages of 26 to 28 are at their peaks. We don't want to let these years go to waste. So we have to make this year count. So have a clear pecking order. And if you don't get the people that you want, work down that order and make sure you get someone in, because the squad has to be strengthened and we have to make them improvements in order to really challenge for the league. So as I said, the club have accrued a bit of trust with me. So I will trust the club to get the job done. I do think we'll sign a striker. But whatever you do, don't believe all the rubbish, nonsense rumours out there. Because, last week I was hearing, we're bidding 50 million plus for Benzema. This week it's 45 million. One person starts the rumour, everyone else regurgitates it. It gets really tiring. So for me, I'm staying out of all this, transfer rumour merry-go-round. I'm just going to trust the club. In the last few years, we've done well in transfer windows. And I was speaking to you about this recently, that Arsenal's a bit of a counter-puncher in the transfer market. If we say Arsenal's a boxer, we're not Anthony Joshua. We don't go in there and get a first-round knockout, how people like Chelsea, Real Madrid, Barca, and Man City are able to do. Instead, we're more like James de Gale. We'll go there, we have to go through a few rounds, we have to have a bit of pain as well, but eventually we'll get that blow that will knock someone out, or we might win on points, but we don't do it in the first round. So now we're coming to that 10th round, that 11th round, and that 12th round, and where there's movement, where an opportunity will be created for us to swoop in another club because they've got someone, they've made a move, and now we can go and hit them with a counter punch. That's what I'm expecting us to do. So I think that opportunity will come available, and I think that we will strike. But if we don't, I'll be disappointed, but I won't be hitting the fan, because Arsenal have accrued trust. But the one principle that I'll always never waver from is that two things cannot exist together, and that is money in the bank and gaps in the squad. If we've got money in the bank and gaps in the squad, it's very, very hard to accept, and the club should, I'd like to have seen the club make a lot of effort to avoid them two things coexisting.
No chance. I didn't give us a chance. That was probably the best club team I played against, Liverpool. That was a phenomenal team. They just won the FA Cup. They'd smashed West Ham 5 in the league. I mean, we struggled at home to Wimbledon, which we probably should have lost that game. If Wimbledon had a bit more about them, they had enough counter-attacking opportunities to win that game, which would have been all over. And I remember when we run out, I looked to the left and the stand was half empty. I thought, oh my God, they don't even think we're going to win either. But everybody was stuck in traffic. Yeah.